it is in the hands of the master weaver. Why did I write this book? It's because after going through many different kind of things in my life, some very painful, traumatic, and also good things that God has done, I realized that in the journey of life, God is like God working, like the weaver works through a basket or doing something with the threads. And I realized that from down here, we see the mess of our lives, we see the failures, we see the pains, but from above, the master sees the beauty of what he's making out of us. And through my life, I decided it is good to be able to share my story, because as somebody said, every life is a story if we care enough to listen. And so I wrote this book to just be able to bring hope to somebody who may be feeling hopeless, to bring, restoration where there is desperation, and to tell you that God gives a second chance in life, but you must be willing to take that chance. And so I welcome you to order a copy of this book. It is only 1,000 shillings and or $10 for those who are outside of the country. You can order through the number on the screen, and we'll be able to get you a copy of this book. God bless you as you read it. Give it to somebody else, and I know they will be helped. Amen.
Into Kingdom Business Network. We're so much excited that you are watching this program today. And as usual, we come to you through Faith Today Television. You could also be watching us on Facebook. You could be watching us on YouTube. And we're so much delighted that you are continued to watch this program. And I believe that this program has helped a lot of people, especially in the areas of business, business finance, business, starting new businesses, running your business, and all other areas that we've been discussing. And I know today is not an exception. We will continue to add value to you wherever you are. So stay tuned, and I know that God is going to bless you. There's going to be a key takeaway today that's going to impact your business. I strongly believe it, and I know it's going to happen. And we're going to continue with the topic of Kingdom Capital Unlocked. And we're going to look today at surviving, from surviving to thriving. We want your business not just to survive, but we want your business to thrive, becomes better and bigger. And we want you to apply faith-based finance to secure, to scale, and to sustain generational wealth. And that's our topic today. And as usual, prepare the questions that you have to our guest today, and he will be glad to answer your question. We don't want you to leave this place with any doubt. I want you to ask those questions, send them to the numbers which are running on your screen. And with me is a guest that was here last week, Njuguna Maina, who is the CEO of the Collectr Group. Welcome very much, Joseph. And you can also introduce yourself to the viewer.
Okay. Good morning, viewer, and asante sana daktari for the introduction. My name, as you have said, is Joseph Maina, your partner in marketing, credit risk, and debt management. Yes. So I'm very eager to hear the questions that the viewers have. I'm very eager on this topic where we are saying we want to move from firefighting as kingdom businesses.
Yes.
And ensure that now we are in what I call frameworks. Yes, so that we are able to move our businesses ahead, and people now can be able to replicate what we are doing in our own businesses. Yes.
Wonderful. And also my co-host is Lewis Ndege, or Coach. You can introduce yourself and also tell us more about what you expect from this topic today.
Thank you so much, Daktari, and welcome back.
Thank you.
I mean, as KBN, we missed you a lot.
Thank you.
And we are happy to have you back. To Joseph Maina, thank you for coming back. We've been having you for the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
And our viewers are really engaging. Actually, this morning, one of our followers, his name is Mwalimu Mkuu, was telling us that guy Joseph has been training me a lot, and I'm learning so much from him. So thank you so much for being an inspiration, even to one viewer. It goes a long way. Once again, our viewers, welcome back to KBN. And as last week, we were discussing about debt and equity, and that's the time we were talking of debt shaming and all other bad things that are associated with debts and other forms of getting capital for your business. And guess what? We didn't leave that conversation at that point, because now today we are onboarding the conversation on how to do it the right way. How to do it the right way. That is why we are talking of from firefighting to doing it in the best way. So as a reminder, remember that the best way you can always be of support to us is sharing this program to as many people as possible. Comment in our Facebook Live and also YouTube. Make sure that you leave your questions so that our guest will be happy to give you the answers. And today will be hot one, so don't touch that dial.
Thank you, Coach Lewis. The last 2 weeks have been so much busy, just trying to see what other people are doing out there. Being in Mombasa with a team of people who are working on some strategy for some logistic companies, and and I was amazed by the kind of business people are getting into. And you see, when I become part of a consulting group that is trying to look at how we can make that business even bigger. It helps. I get excited, and I know a lot of viewers will learn from some of the things that we get entangled with, and the things that we get involved in and do outside the set. And therefore, today, just want to hear from Joseph, and it talks about fighting frameworks. What do you mean by fire frameworks, and are there mistakes that Christians enterprises get into that messes them up? What do you mean?
That's a good starting point, and I would say when we talk about from firefighting to frameworks, we are saying we want to be more structured in how we do business. We do not want to be running up and down. Today we are dealing with salaries. Tomorrow we do not remember we had a debt at NCBA and such like things. And when it comes to our kingdom businesses, and I will also mention the secular ones because we have such listeners. We are saying we have 3 deadly habits, and when I say 3, I'm talking about starting in haste. We are talking about hiding books. And by hiding books, I mean that people don't want to show us what they are really doing. So they'll tell you, I'm making a lot of money, but you cannot be able to account for it. Then thirdly is holding control, where Lewis, as our digital coach, is running a great institution, but doesn't want anybody who can ask them any questions. So we as Christians, we are saying we do not want any correction. So we are saying we are starting too fast. We fear correction and we refuse help. So my ask for the viewer today is that if we are moving from firefighting to frameworks, we are saying we must start to slow down so that we align. We have to be open to accountability, and lastly, we have to be keen on getting wise counsel. Yes.
Does this happen only when businesses are starting, or do you have cases whereby it's still happening in mature business? Let's say a business which is 3, 4, 5 years old. Where do you see this as a major problem?
Okay, I've seen it both for startups and also for old companies, where people like yourself, Daktari, you are older than us. So I wouldn't advise you on that because you know more than I do. Then we have startups where somebody is coming off from school. I know everything around IT, so I do not need counsel from Daktari. So for both startups and also the aged companies, I call them aged, for lack of a better word, but we are saying it is a major problem where people, if I'm making money, I do not want anybody to ask me a question. So most people do not want advice externally. And most of the time, before we came onto the show, we said as consultants, most of the time you might think we are free, but people don't like advice. So if I'm good in an area, somebody will only come to me when they're in trouble. So that is a challenge, and it happens that most of the challenges that Christian businesses face is that we are all knowing. As much as we are created in the image of God, we are not all knowing. He is the one who is all knowing. And we are saying that we need external guidance. We need movement ahead. And if we want movement ahead, we must seek counsel. Yes.
And I really support what you're saying about seeking counsel. Because when you look at some of the biggest enterprises in this country and even beyond worldwide, they always seek counsel. You get a lot of them with consultants, with people who have been in the field for long, or even somebody just to have a third eye looking at what they are doing. I know our team has been invited in strategy sessions by companies across. And even when you go to talk to these people, you find either they are even more knowledgeable or they have a wide, vast experience, but they still want somebody to come in and look into what they are doing and maybe just try and tell them or challenge them to look at it differently, you know? And they have continued to do that year in, year out. And they have continued to be greater and bigger. However wise you are, counsel is very important. It makes you even more wiser. So really support that. And I think for Christian businesses, they need to emulate that and learn. Because if the biggest enterprises still need to listen to somebody else, why not us? What is your take on that?
I think where they lack counsel, people perish. So when we are talking about businesses, myself being a business person, there is the place of what do people say about this thing. Before I entered the business space, I used to be a researcher. And in research, we usually say, you can't reinvent the wheel. So if you want to make something that looks like a wheel, you need first to see them that have created a wheel before. To what extent do they go or did they achieve, so that what you are doing is adding value and giving us a better product or service. So when we are talking about consulting, I mean, according to me, it's 100%, actually 101%. You can't thrive without counsel. So maybe you can help our business person who is viewing us today understand. Maybe there's what we call diagnostics. Like if you go to a hospital or a garage, your vehicle is going to undergo a process called diagnostics. And sometimes we don't particularly do diagnostics because there's a problem. Sometimes you do diagnostics so that you can oversee a possible problem. So maybe there is that place of kingdom business diagnostics. You can help our viewer understand how can they run diagnostics for their businesses, or is it a process they can do alone, or is that the point we need an expert?
Great question, Coach Lewis. And I would say emulating, I call them secular. I was listening the other day to a certain short clip where somebody was speaking about PayPal and how it started. Many will associate it to Elon Musk, but you will find out that in a photo there is 24 people in a boardroom. And these are young guys. And of these 24 people, you are saying one of them is Elon Musk. You can see the successes that have come out of those engagements. Then you will also find out that further to that, the people that are also in that room have become the biggest investors in other Silicon Valley businesses, the likes of LinkedIn and all that. So we are saying again is that as much as we want to do business, we must do it with other people, so that we are able, what I could have done well in training, I will call Mr. Lewis, and I'm able to move even further than I would have if I was alone. So we've talked about again diagnostics, and I liken Collectr to a pathologist in a morgue, where we are saying we have love for failed businesses, and I usually say I want to be a testimony to many and heal businesses, because we run away from failed businesses. We do not want to be associated with failure, and when we say there is what we call an autopsy, your business has failed. You have to agree and be accountable that my business has failed. So when we talk about diagnostics and diagnostic tools, we are saying we can give you templates, of course, where you can do your own internal audit, but most people are not truthful to themselves. So when you ask them, are you giving tithe? They'll tell you, I gave it to a beggar. But is that what the Bible asked of you? So the same thing on business. When you talk about diagnostics again, you will find a Christian who is telling you, economy imekuwa mbaya sana, so I'm not paying taxes. So already there is a red flag here. So there is what we call self-audit. We can share our templates as Collectr. Then there is also the other matter of being honest to yourself, and bringing in somebody who is independent, and they can be able to give you feedback on how your processes are. They can be able to give you feedback on where you went wrong. And we also be keen on, again, we said counsel, that if you don't get counsel, you will perish. Most of us are going down the wrong route because we do not want to gain as much advice as we can. So we have tools that we can for self-audit, but we also have external audit where we can be able to advise you even further, and we can be able to move from point A to Z. Yes.
Wow. Is this advice only to existing business, or the ones which are failing, or the failed ones?
Okay, one is that we have various solutions, because we also have mentorship where we are talking about students who are in school who want to start businesses. They will say there are no jobs, but they won't listen in to people who have gone before them. So we are saying we have people who are yet to start. There are people who have a vision that tomorrow I want to start my grocery. So you would want to know where have others failed, or where have others succeeded, and how can I be able to be like these people. So we have failed businesses. Of course, I'm saying personally, I'm very keen on failure, because I have failed not once. And the beauty about failure is that it becomes your testimony. Nobody can take away from me that I was auctioned. So it is my story. So with that story, I'm able to move ahead. I'm able to learn from those lessons. And every time I can pick myself and tell Mr. Lewis, if you do not want to be auctioned like me, move this way. Then again, we said there are also businesses that are doing very well. So you would want to critique them in a good way and tell them, now if you are doing 1,000 times revenue, we can be able to take you to 25 times revenue if you are doing this and this. Yes.
You see, as you're talking, something is just clicking in my mind. And I'm just asking myself, because a lot of people who have been successful in business have failed many, many times. Is it then true that before you get into the next business, you need to first of all understand why you failed in the previous business, or why you have a pattern of failure?
Yes.
You do the autopsy, as you put it.
Yes.
Is this what you're talking about?
I'm really talking about that. And again, a reference to the kingdom arena. We are saying most of us, when we fail, unasema nilirogwa. Or somebody cast me, or
people in my village are not sleeping.
My ancestors are back.
Or people don't like you.
Or people don't like you. So at times you have to sit down and ask yourself, am I really doing the right things? So that from that point, you're able to move ahead. I always say again, you do not want, if you're already in a hole, stop digging. You cannot tell me I am failing continuously, but I'm still doing the same thing. And doing the same thing over and over, that is insanity without results. So you are doing it and you are failing, but you still want to fail. You do not want to ask a banker, how can I get a facility? Because loan is our to a buyer. Ama nikichukua loan, I will be collected, or somebody will auction me. So there are things we must learn from other businesses. And when we say firefighting, you do not want to correct your business when you have already failed. Let us work with you, let us collaborate, let us partner. And that is why there is beauty in consulting, because continuously you're giving lessons and you can be able to visit Lewis as a consultant and use those lessons to be able to build even Collectr better. Yes.
And I just remembering a story. I started farming somewhere in Murang'a, and I bought a farm and I didn't know the history of the farm. The first produce was not that good. The second one was okay. Then I started putting cattle and for cows for milking. Then one gave birth, it died. Then I was told by my worker there that, Mzee, let me tell you something. You need to give a goat to the wazes here, because shamba yako imerogwa.
Yes.
So and he was really trying to tell me that there was a story about that farm. I don't know, there's somebody who owned that farm many years ago, maybe 50 years ago. He was, I don't know, eaten by a hyena, and he left a curse. And now we need to cleanse that 2 acres so that it can be productive, and your cows should stop dying when they are giving birth. So I reached out and I told him, yeah, tell those people I've sent him, because he told me he was being sent by the people in the community.
Yes.
Tell them I'm the one who is mourning because I've lost a cow. So they need to changa for me
to buy a new one.
Buy a new cow.
One, yes.
But asking me for a goat.
So you think that those spiritual issues are really deep-rooted? That deep-rooted thing is something kakitu kanafanyika kwa biashara.
Interesting. You've talked about Murang'a, where I hail from. So it is touching for me when you speak about it. And I know there is, I do not want to speak a lot Christianese, but I would say that when we talked about self-audit, you will find out that probably the cow ate a plastic bag and it died. But already somebody is telling you the owner of this, the first owner of this land was eaten by a hyena. So already there are things that are spiritual. We have to revisit our own covenants with God, because you cannot tell me you are a believer, then you are doing funny things. Of course, I know there are traditions, and at times we have seen in recent times that people are continuously correcting themselves. Of course, we have families that have gotten themselves in very funny spaces, and they have to get out of them. So they have to pay their debt. I'm taught by my father that there are things you have to pay for, whether you like it or not, whether in prayer or because you know what you did so that you got into that problem. But again, I'm saying that a self-audit is key. Do not run into things that you do not understand. As you have said, you are mourning and somebody is asking you again, give me one more livestock. So are we giving you one more livestock so that we better you, or we are making you even suffer even more? So a lot of us work with ignorance. We want to be in church but do worldly things. So of course the pain point must be you will pay for whatever you are getting yourself into. Yes.
Actually, that is bringing me now to a next level concern, because when we talk of ensuring that you do your self whatever audits, or even if it's to bring because people are spreading misinformation out there, telling them you can't survive alone. You need to onboard people.
Yes.
But sometimes most of them will not tell you what kind of people, what kind of people you need to bring to your business.
Yes.
Because one, before you aspire to get profits, you are serving a purpose. And anybody who is coming to partner with you in your dream, in your vision, must as well be inclined to serving your purpose.
Yes.
So how would, or else what would you tell our viewer in the place of discerning the right people, discerning the right people for strategic partnerships? May it be for equity. I also saw there are sweat equities and all that. So how do they discern the right people for partnerships?
Good. And I remember one of the topics when in our first session, Daktari, we had an interesting one where we said most of our challenges probably are not money. And the thing is, I will say it is a Kenyanese thing, where we are selfish. So when I'm doing very well, and I will liken this to when I used to play rugby. And one of the things that happens is there were people who are bigger than us. They were more muscular, and you wanted to understand why does this guy have this physique? So you will go into a gym and they won't tell you what they are doing and what they are using to get to that place. So we are selfish in sense. The same thing happens to business. That you want to be so successful, but you are the village jogo, that you are the only person who can be able to deliver this in Kirinyaga. So you want to be known as the only person who has a great training institution in this place. So again, when we talk about discernment, we are saying that we talked about people who will get you to the next level. And they are not necessarily people who will give you money. There are people like Daktari. Today I've learned that I might be good in strategy, but Daktari is somebody Daktari is somebody I want to keep close. So in my first even 5 minutes of engagement, I already have known that I will not work hard anymore. I already have somebody that I need to stand on their shoulders so that I'm able to move to the next level. So we are saying, when we are talking about discernment, look at in a kingdom sense. Look at it in the magnitude. What is your biggest challenge? If it's money, of course, if it's money, then it is money. Because at times we do not have that money, and that is where there are banks, we have and other financial institutions. So when we talk about discernment again, is do you have people who are close to you? And I like in the example where we are saying I can be able to borrow Daktari 1,000 bob, or Daktari can even tell when I have not eaten. So are there people close to you that can be able to say Daktari needs 1 shilling so that he can move to the next level? As Christians, again, we are saying most of us, I remember a church we used to go to, and the pastor, when we were in a lot of trouble financially, and when you tell them you are hungry, they say, let us pray. But the only thing we needed is food so that we can go work. So discernment now comes in. Who is that person who is close to you? Can they be able to even tell when the coach is in trouble? Because at times we do not have such people in our lives, and those are the people first you have to have. Then again, we said it's not a matter of money. Who can you collaborate with in my business so that I'm able to move to the next level? We said when it comes to discernment and business, we are talking about, let me be a stakeholder of a 1 billion business, and I'm only holding 1%. Because if you're holding 100% of a business that is making 1,000 shillings, it doesn't make sense. So continuously be that person who is eager to work with others. Of course, working with others, of course, has its own pain points, because there are people who will come and they want to scam you. There are people who you want to get on to your boardroom, then kidogo you are on Citizen TV because you have the most corrupt person in your board. So again, you have to do a lot of due diligence. Then you are able to tell who is good for my business. Yes.
Is working in partnership, when you look at it in Kenya, you said it's more of survival. I think it's the coach who said it's more on survival.
Yes.
Why is it so? And are there warning signs that tells you that this person is actually partnering with me for survival purposes? How do you discern that? Or what are the warning signs?
There's a word we call ourselves nowadays. We call ourselves hustlers. Everybody is a hustler.
Everyone, from the top to the bottom.
Which I say is not a kingdom word, because we need to be stewards. In our first session, we talked about moving from just making money to being impactful. And when you asked that in our businesses, how do we manage to tell that this person is not good for me? You have to again ask yourself, what is my mission as a business? And when we talk about what is my mission as a business, does it align to Daktari's mission? Then again, when you're talking about now these collaborative partnerships, you have to look at it because we are saying we are not just here for survival. Do they align to my motives as a business? Do they align to what I look out for when it comes to the deals that I want to do? Or do we, if it's a tender, the guy that is coming in is the one that is telling me we need to pay one bob so that we can be able to get this tender? Is this aligned to my kingdom principles? Because we want to say we are a kingdom-based business, but we are doing the things that even people in the secular world are not doing. So partnerships are very critical. We do not want you surviving, because again, when you are surviving, you will do anything to survive. And that is why I've said we must move from being a hustler to a steward. And Daktari has said, if you want to thrive, survive, you must look at it in the long run, so that everybody that wants to align to you must see the end goal at the end of the day. Yes,
wonderful. For the viewers, we have come to the end of the first section, and we're going to take a very short 2 minutes on a break. And as we prepare to do that, I would request you to prepare the questions and send them now, because on the second part of this program, after 2 minutes, Joseph will answer your questions, because we want you to ask him the questions that are in your heart. As you've listened to us, what is it that you want him to help you with? So, and as you do that, please remember to like, share, subscribe, especially on YouTube and Facebook. So let's see you in 2 minutes. Don't touch that dial.
Faith Today TV is here to make your brand outstanding. Worry not on where to advertise your business or your product. Call us on 0114 777 000 or email us on info@faithtodaytv.co.ke.
Hello there, my name is Enock. Taking care of your health should be a top priority. Looking at the various engagements that we have today, it is so easy to forget about our health, mental well-being. That is why we introduce to you the Healthy You Talk Show, a brand new show that is going to address matters concerning your health, nutrition, stress management, mental health, name it. We bring to you a wide range of experts who are going to be touching pertinent issues concerning our health. Tune in every Tuesday at 10 a.m. live on Faith Today TV.
Welcome once again to Kingdom Business Network. We're so much excited to be discussing this with you and I know this is adding a lot of value to you. And just before the break, you were discussing with Joseph, and I would want to ask Coach Lewis,
Yes, sir.
what is your thoughts?
I think so far so good, especially when we talk about now the aspect of businesses today and strategic partnerships.
Yes.
And you have highlighted a few warning signs that will help us see a person at the gate and know that person is not good for business.
Yes.
And maybe for our viewers today, there is a conversation that actually we onboarded during the previous conversation about generational businesses, because we want to create that framework. Today's theme was from firefighting to frameworks. I want my business to outlive me. I want to set up a business that even my third generation, as the blessings of God have dictated over my life, it will be so. But I have a responsibility of ensuring that I put up those frameworks that will help me ensure that my business is generational. I don't die with my business. In our place, there are people who usually say they die with their wealth.
Yes.
There are those kind of men, and I don't think our viewers are those people. Because for us, we want to build something for longevity, something that with or without our presence, the business is thriving. So maybe what are these parameters, or how do we need to strategically position ourselves as business people so that we can build for longevity?
Good question. Generational wealth.
Yes.
And the other day, my own father wrote to me a message and said, my grandchildren will never lack. And when he said that, I remember we used to lack. And lack was part of us. It was our middle name.
Yes.
And at times I used to think it is the name Joseph, that because Joseph of the Bible really did suffer before he became who he became, and he aligned himself to the vision. So we are talking about as a founder, you have to write your vision. Let it be plain and loud. Again, I will quote my father, because he used to, even when we were misbehaving, because pastors' kids do misbehave a lot. He used to quote the Bible. So you are given the Bible and you are given a verse. So you would go to Ephesians and you would read, children, obey your parents. Then when he finishes, you would think that you have been forgiven, up until he takes you to Proverbs and he tells you, now read what is the remedy for a rogue child. And when you are reading, it says, do not leave the rod.
Spare the rod.
Spare the rod and spoil the child. So after you are finished, so he asks you, what does it mean? Then you answer and you get, of course, you will get feedback. So when we talk about now this in terms of business, we are saying write your vision and let it be plain and loud. And now we are moving now from the pitch decks, which is the normal business language, and into something I call a purpose deck. That as we even bear more children as Joseph, already my children already know what is my vision. As an individual, as a father, as a brother, and such like things. So we are saying you write your vision plain and loud, that even your grandchildren could recite it word for word, that it is their national anthem. So it becomes a Lewis anthem, that when we talk about certitude, his children and his children's children can be able to recite it. So that is how generational wealth is now. Already it is inculcated in your mind. And everything now starts from there, because now it manifests. Because if my grandchild already knows what my business is about, will not have tussles when it comes to succession also. So do not have your vision living just in your head. Put it plain and loud, write it very clearly, that you do not die with it. Then again, for the children, we are saying there is what probably that will fall to the next question, but we are saying even for the children, let them know what you do, because most of us don't even know what we do. And I'm happy that the other day one of my daughters asked, na dad siku hizi unafanya nini? Because she also wants to, she sees that I have a lot of free time, or I'm at home, so she wants to know kwani unafanyanga nini?
Yes.
And the other one asks, unatoanga wapi do? So now again you have to, that is how, those are the questions. Now they already start asking you questions, and you're able to tell them, this is what I do. They can be able to understand, and you're working with them also on the journey. And we are not just saying the journey of failure. They will need to see you succeeding, especially for us men. Those are the things that now make your child even more excited that I want to fall into line into this particular thing that my father or my mother is doing.
Yes. Maybe you can help us understand the exact things that I need to align in my system that will assure me that even when I'm long gone, my business will still be left standing. Yes.
I have seen this, and I will say I've seen this with the Hindu community.
Yes.
Where continuously everybody in the family is involved in the business. So I usually say that you have to start with exposure.
Yes.
And you have said don't hide what you do unless you are doing funny things. Then we see the next time a Subaru is picking you up. So you have to start with exposure, not entitlement. You're not telling your children that this is your business. You start with exposure. They get to understand the systems. And some things are not taught at the university. So these skills are inculcated with that exposure. Then the other bring them to meetings. Let them know how a board meeting functions. That one day when you have left, your daughter or your son can be able to hold a board meeting. And everybody can tell that she has been exposed or he has been exposed because they will be speaking in your language. Because every family has their own language. Like for us, we are to win or we are to win. So there are no two ways. So if now I'm failing, already I am in trouble because I'm not aligning to the vision that we have laid down as a family. Then the other thing is let them struggle. Let them see how you have struggled to form structure. Do not hide it from them. Let them see that you started off this way. We are moving to this point, but in between there are challenges. So that when they are faced with challenges again, they do not die. And follow you to where you are going. So that is where we have said we are moving from now being hustlers into stewards. And stewardship means that whatever I know, I put it bluntly to those that are behind me. Yes.
Now, you said something interesting about the Indian community, and I happen to have worked with one group, I don't want to mention the name. And what they told me is that one of their biggest success is they ensure that they involve their children at a very tender age. In fact, once a child is able to speak, he is given an opportunity to even tell them what they think, the kids, about the business. So they were telling me annually, they fly the whole family. And it could be about 50 people because they have the extended family, uncles and aunties and the rest of them. And a kid even as young as 3 years will be asked to say something about whatever product they make. They make some food products, and most likely the kid has already interacted with those food products. And that will be his or her contribution at the age of 3. And then it goes all the way to the grandparent. Now the patriarch and the matriarchs to end the sessions. And they would have 2 days or 3 days meetings. They're just discussing about the business. And then they also align their children such that they determine you are good in maths or you're good in accounting, you train in finance. Then after you finish, you come to the business. You are good in chemistry, you train in pharmacy. And if you have a pharmaceutical arm, you come and handle that. And that way, they have been able to create generational wealth. Now my question is, why is it that when you look at us Kenyans, now let's come out, even them, they are some of them, I'm talking about India, and they might also be more Kenyan than we are. How comes the traditional African has an issue with sharing this information with their children? Because I know growing up, I found that generation of Africans who never open up to their children. You never knew what your father does. You never knew what he owns. Leave alone you, even the wife of that's your mom. God forbid you ask. But even the mother might not even know what the mzee owns. Are we breaking that tradition? And what does it entail for those who have not broken that tradition?
Good question. And I would say I was blessed to have known my father's first salary, which was some 187 shillings. And what that did for us is that as a firstborn, you already know that I don't need to ask for things. Those are luxuries. Sure. And with that learning, already I was aligned to finance. I might be running away from it most of the time, but legacy, I say, is learned in times of sweat.
Sure.
And not in speeches, because most of us, as we again said, and we are Kenyans, is that we are very selfish.
Sure.
You want when you die that we find out Daktari has land in Botswana. We only learn about your land in Botswana when you are far gone. Now it doesn't benefit us. And you realize again, when you talk of people like the Bill Gates, when you go back to their history, already he had a father who was doing very well.
Sure.
He already had made so many connections by the time he is doing his own business. And when we talk about university dropouts in Kenya, you will fail because my father did not have such networks. So again, to the Hindu community, they are very deliberate, and it's not a secret. This is the business we are doing. Sure. We do it this way. We pay taxes to KRA. We VAT is this amount. So already we are saying we are selfish as Kenyans. That I do not want even my wife to know what I do. I only want her to spend the money I bring, whether I bring it in a crude way or in a good way. So we are very secretive, and I'm seeing people are learning that you need to have a legacy. Sure. I've seen there is a whole session that is happening under Bulb events where they are talking about legacy and succession. Sure. And I would liken it to a company like Modokinjo Paints, where you are seeing it started as a small hardware, but now it has grown in leaps and bounds because somebody was deliberate in ensuring that I hand over to the next person. Sure. And most of us want to die at 90 and I'm still working, which is not supposed to be the way. Sure. The business should take care of me, and my children should be able to take care of the business and their children's children. So if we are able to be open, and I'm seeing people buying into this a lot, we are able to and we are sincere about how we do our business, then we are able to move in those leaps and bounds. There are companies to emulate, and it is no hidden fact. If you are accountable, you will always succeed. Yes.
Wonderful. Let's take a few of the viewers' questions, and thank you very much for sending these questions. And if you've not done so, you have a few minutes to do so. The first question is, someone is saying, interesting topic today. A quick one. How do I balance tithing, giving, and still saving for my future?
Tithing, giving,
and saving for the future.
And saving for the future. Interesting facts. I do not have religious backing on that specific question, but my take would be that there is a formula continuously. That if you do not live beyond your means, the first thing you have to do is to tithe the 10% that is guided in the Bible. So we are saying you first tithe, then now you start spending. Then the other thing you are doing is not just spending, you have to pay yourself. I always say I failed because I never paid myself. So every money that was coming in was for consumption. So already when I get my 10,000 shillings, once I have removed the 1,000 and tax has been removed, already you have started shaking because now you are thinking, what will I save? This is a very little money. But you will find out if you are faithful in your tithing, then on this other side you have paid yourself. That you are saying, Lewis, I need to pay myself 1,000 every month because indeed I worked hard. For the secular side, we always say, wanasemanga ya kurudishia moli pole. So you have to first pay yourself, then now you go into now the basic nitty-gritties, which probably is rent if you're not living in your own home. Then there is food. If there are kids, there is education. So all this, there is a formula for all this. But for today, I will talk about tithe first, then pay yourself, then now spend. Yes, consume and consume in a way that is not a hustler, but still in a responsible way.
Saving for the future.
Yes,
also.
yes, saving for the future.
There's somebody who gave us a formula that you need to save 20% of whatever you earn.
Yeah, so we are saying saving can be how you are paying yourself, because we are saying this is money that you will use in the future. I saw a story of a great friend of mine in the insurance industry who started saving 24 years ago, 3,000 bob. And the other day, when the insurance matured, he had a sum assured of over 37.8 million. So meaning you can be able to create a lot from even the small amount of money that you have. Yes.
A second question from Janet. Janet is asking, what financial habits should I break immediately to stop living paycheck to paycheck?
Great question. And I would say one is, as a banker, I failed miserably because you had a lot of money to spend and you had an opportunity to borrow even more. So you are continuously living in a circle. So if on 15th I have an advance, on 30th I have, not even on 30th. So it's 15th, then usually bankers are paid around 22nd. So within 7 days, and now again I have salary. Then if I wanted a facility, I can be able to get a facility which has no interest. So you find yourself, you're in a circle. And for her or him, we are saying that if you do not want to live from paycheck to paycheck, we talked about self-audit and be accountable, telling yourself the truth that I have been living a lie. If, we call it in debt collection, living up to the Johannes's. The Johannes's are people that could be doing very well, better than you, and you want to be like them. Now you want to live, I want to live like all bankers in Kilimani. So now I move from where I live, Nahukumbele, Mwiki, where I'm paying my bed sitter at 8,000. Then I move to Kilimani, I'm paying the same bed sitter probably at 80,000. Already I'm in trouble. I'm keeping up with people who are doing better than me, or I don't know where their sources of income are. So one is refrain from comparison, do a self-audit. Then once you have done the self-audit, and we said last time we will be giving our viewers an opportunity to consult for free, that we can be able to even give them a formula and we can be able to stick around your paycheck and you are able to move ahead. Yes.
Okay. And you need to live within your means.
That is the key word, living within your means.
Yes. Okay. That question from Brian. Brian is watching us all the way from Thika. So Thika is watching us. Thank you very much. He's asking, how do I keep my values intact when opportunities to make money when opportunity to make fast money, fast money come.
There are many ways of making money.
Shida ni DCI.
And we will say one of the things and how people make money, and I've seen this in Kenya, is you remember there's a company called Desi that was said to have scammed a lot of people. Most of us we said we are selfish. So I see Lewis driving a Mustang today, and I want it tomorrow. So I don't want to care whether he started off earlier than me, or his father has money. So most of us are again keeping up with the Johannes's. So if you want to be, we said if you want to be a kingdom-backed business or a kingdom-backed entrepreneur, there are values and they are well set in the good book, our Bible. And you cannot tell me you want to make fast money, and you cannot even explain it. So we'll only be seeing you on TV, and we have seen even preachers being scammed and preachers scamming, because everybody has the keen interest of making money as fast as is possible. So how are you able to keep those values? One is stop looking at the other people. We all have a journey, and our journeys are different. I've learned that I might be good in strategy. Then today I've learned that I'm not even good in anything yet. I'm still learning. So I have to be one, teachable. Listen to those that are. Let me get to the stories of those who have made it and those who have failed, because the the root of all evil is the love of money. It's not money itself. It is the love of money that I want to move. I have just finished my degree course at St. Paul's University, and tomorrow I want to be like a daktari who is trotting the globe. It doesn't happen that way. Yes.
Okay, now there's another question. Is there a way I can support others financially without sabotaging my own future? I am watching closely. Like this.
He's watching closely.
Yes.
Chairman.
He's watching closely. Yes, we said as we do our own self-audit, we do not want self-sabotage. Again, you do not want to put in your money where it will not bring any income.
Yeah.
And again, most of us hear that, and I gave an example of Musingi Credit, a microfinance we used to run with my friends, where people put in money, they had their own agendas. So ensure that your vision, again, aligns to the vision of those you are investing in. We said the love of money is the root of all problems, because now if you want fast money, to make fast money from Coach Lewis, you will be in trouble when he has not been able to pay the bank loan, and now you are suffering because you expected that money this month. So a lot of effort must go into reviewing, where am I investing this money? Is this business sustainable? Have I done due diligence? What is their end goal? Because some of us are doing businesses that are not godly or kingdom backed. So we are doing things that on a normal day, if somebody was to put us on a pedestal or our story was on TV, everybody will be wondering, Daktari, is that Daktari really? So again, if those businesses align to your vision, I believe there will be no self-sabotage, because God is also faithful. He will ensure that whatever you put your money into is earning money even for your own generation. Yes.
Okay, one last question before we close. Morning, Mr. Maina. I'm Gideon from Kabete. I run a Christian business. And my question is, should I only hire believers?
You have put me on a tight spot, because I'm reminded of, I used to work for a bank, and this was a Christian bank. And part of the things, and I will say this boldly, part of our failure was us being Christianists. That even if I defraud the bank, mnasema Mungu atanisamehe. So even when you're coming for a disciplinary committee, somebody will speak in tongues, and we will believe them, and they will cry, and you will not do anything, because we are brothers and sisters. So I wouldn't say you do not need to do your own recruitment, but you do not just need believers. We have very many people who are well versed in many things. And most of the time they are not in church. And most of the time they are not where you would think they are. So I have seen Christian Con, because as much as we were a Christian bank, we had a church that we had lent congregants. And when I got the opportunity to be a debt collector in the same bank, can I tell you that the biggest loan book that was in default was from that church. And we would travel the whole of Kenya, because these guys, the pastor borrowed money from us. He married a new wife. You find a pastor was supposed to borrowed money to build a church. He went and bought a home. So you find at times we have Christians in church that are not Christians. So we have people who do the wrong things. They do not have values for themselves. And if they don't have values and they do not align to what you are looking at as a vision, you have to get the best of skills from the marketplace. You, as much as you are a Christian, you must go to the marketplace, get people who have values, and those values are one which is very key, is integrity. And I have left 2 employers within a span of a month, because now you want me to do the wrong things. And you will find you will be maligned because you moved on. But if the values do not align to what I'm looking at, it doesn't matter whether I am in the kingdom or I'm outside the marketplace. So for me, my advice would be get the best. There are people who have aligned values to yours, and you can be able to tell. And God has given us the spirit of discernment. Sure. So you can even tell that this guy is already connish. You do not need somebody hiding behind a suit to know that this guy already is scamish for me. Sure. So you have to ask God for the spirit of discernment, and you can be able to get the right people, the things you want as a business, and God will always be a great provider.
So what I'm hearing you is that you need to get somebody who is skilled,
yes,
who is qualified,
yes,
who has the right attitude,
yes,
who is good for your business, and then if they are a Christian, it's another advantage.
Yes, yeah, that is the key word. That is another advantage. Yes.
Thank you very much. So, what's your parting shot, Coach Lewis?
Yes, I think so far so good. I've also decoded a lot, and I'm learning a lot, because in the place of business, we usually say that we learn each and every day. And more so to it, the place of building wealth.
Yeah.
Even for my generations, I think that for me is profound. And thank you so much for allowing God to use you to be of service to these good people. And just as a reminder, the easiest way for you always to be supporting this particular mission, we actually have our details there. Make sure you support us in prayer and also financially, so that we are able to sustain this wonderful program and be of support to you as a business person, and to as much as possible, because even this mission is generational. And until next time, this has been your digital coach, Lewis Ndege. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. So thank you very much, Coach Lewis, and thank you very much, Joseph. This has been very insightful. So you can give your parting shot and also tell people how they can contact you.
Thank you so much, Daktari and Coach. And as I finish, we started off by saying businesses in the kingdom, how they collapse. We have the 3 H's, where we are saying starting in haste, hiding the books, and holding control. We have to move away from that and slow down, so that we align, open up to accountability, and seek counsel. So my parting shot today is that we seek as much counsel as is possible. And if you're looking for a partner or a collaboration company that you can collaborate with, you will find me on 0720 386 278. And I repeat, it's 0720 386 278. Let's talk, let's hold each other's hand, let's partner, let's do great things together. Asante sana.
Thank you once again, Joseph, for being helping us get into the depth of this topic. And thank you very much, viewers, for watching. And we are here because of you. So until next time, this has been KBN Kingdom Business Network. Stay blessed and God bless you.
Faith Today TV is here to make your brand outstanding. Worry not on where to advertise your business or your product. Call us on 0114 777 000 or email us on info@faithtodaytv.co.ke.